David, when you first arrived at the club, did you ever imagine that 300 was on the cards?
It strains the memory a little bit. It was a while ago. Look, growing up, all of us just hoped to play, get into an AFL system and play one game. So anything beyond that is really, the cherry on top. And to have lasted so long in this industry and being able to achieve a little bit personally, it's really rewarding. And to be honest, 300 it feels like it's gone like that. To be honest, looking back, and the years quickly pile on top of each other. So trying to make the most of our time in it at the moment.
You've mostly avoided injury. Why do you think you've been able to be so resilient?
I think it's a really good mix of good preparation and good luck. Obviously very diligent with what we do here and the processes that we go through to get our bodies right and both prepare and then recover for and after games and trainings and things like that. And obviously travel plays a big part in that within the season. But obviously got to be a little bit lucky as well, and to have avoided anything really major. Good genetics and a bit of luck. Excuse me, that's my children going nuts.
Dave, you've always been such an understated character, but this week is quite rightly all about you. How you handle that?
It's been bloody weird, to be honest. Immediately post the GWS game, it all kind of started through different social media outlets and personal messages from friends and family and things like that. So it's been a really strange and weird 2 days. I'm hoping that it will kind of subside as we go into the game and things will go back to normal. But it's certainly been a bit different. But personally, I'm really relieved to have got to this point now. My family and friends all booked their flights about 4 weeks ago for round 6, and that had been playing fairly heavily on my mind about, avoid a little calf or hamstring injury that'll keep me 1 week out. So, to have got to this point healthy, really relieved, and I'll be avoiding ground balls this week.
What does it mean, the outpouring, I guess, from fans and not just Freo fans, but fans of other clubs? What does it mean to you coming in this?
Yeah, as I said, it's been an overwhelming couple of days, to be honest. It's all that comes out of nowhere, and I play a team-orientated game, and I'm looking for team success and for the team to really thrive. So to get really personal and individual, and those well wishes and messages of support and love and admiration, it's really overwhelming.
Have you got a moment from the 300 that stands out for you that you remember the most?
Obviously the goal after the siren against Richmond personally is a really great memory, and made more so that my sister is a really avid Richmond supporter. But obviously the big finals that we've played in, the big moments within games along the way, there's been a few. But also the grind through the pre-season. Hey, mate. The pre-season grinds are also really memorable and really rewarding to have gone through so many now. But within our pre-season, we have really hard sessions and really hard weeks. And to get to the end of those sessions and the end of those weeks, with your brothers, walking off the field, absolutely exhausted, knowing that in that last 2.5 hours, you've really taken a big step forward with what you want to achieve is something that's away from the limelight, but it's really meaningful and really powerful. You can come up here, Phil. If you be quiet, you can come up here.
Dave, to reach the milestone in good form as well, I imagine that must be satisfying on a personal level. I know you don't like talking about yourself, but your footy, you're maintaining still a high standard at this stage of your career.
Yeah, I've a huge amount of personal pride in that, and I've always said over the last couple of years that I don't want to be here just to hang around and be just a part of it. I want to really contribute and be a valuable on-field member of our playing group, and so that really drives me to get the best out of myself. And I think we're building a really good system where I feel like I can still really valuably contribute to that. And it's nice for the guys to be playing, or for us all to be playing really well within our systems at the moment.
How much longer can you go on, Dave?
It's probably not up to me, to be honest. At the moment, I feel like, as I said, I'm contributing still. I feel like my role within the team is really well defined, and I'm really understanding of what's required of me and what my output needs to be. So I guess time will tell.
Have you thought about it next season?
Not really, no. This has been consuming my mind a little bit. So I haven't really thought ahead too far. All right, off you go, mate.
Where does this season rank as far as your optimism for where the club's at?
Yeah, I think our last couple of years have obviously been a bit of a building process. We've had a lot of disappointment and a lot of frustration through that, but this year I feel like we've taken another step forward in that regard, and the young guys and the new players that we've brought into our systems with that added year of experience and building their bodies and understanding each other, I think we're starting to see a little bit of the fruits of that labour. The challenge obviously moving forward is for that to consistently be applied throughout the year, and with home and away and being a West Australian team, the travel component is a really big factor in that. So certainly going forward, we're going to be looking to build on and continue our recent form and the way that we've been going about it. But as I said, that's the challenge.
Just on that, you and Pav are the only two players based in WA to get to 300. How much of a factor is the travel week in, week out?
Yeah, it plays a big part in our role, both here at the club and when we go away, and we speak about trying to understand. Hang on, I'll just get rid of these guys. Hardy, come on, mate. Go to Dunn. Apologies again. Yeah, we speak about it a lot, trying to understand our processes, and especially for new guys into the system and into the travel routine of a West Australian club, it can be a really steep learning curve. There's a lot of challenges that some guys aren't even aware of until we're faced by them. So it certainly plays a big role in what we talk and think about and our processes here throughout the season.
Of over 300, what's been the biggest change in terms of perhaps the game, club?
The game's changed so much in my time in football. It's hard to even think back and really understand what it was like, to be honest. We're so focused on the now and trying to improve and innovate with new rules and new systems and new teams and things like that. It's really difficult to think back to 2005 and what it was actually like. So I guess that's a challenge moving forward as well, is to try and stay on the leading edge of the new kind of game plans and playing within the rules and trying to bend them slightly to get an edge. But yeah.
You got so close to the pinnacle, Dave, in 2013. What would it mean to you to have another shot to play finals footy before the end of your career?
I think it would be great. It would be absolutely great, obviously, to return to September action and get really deep into finals. But it's not something that will... Excuse me. Hudson, go to mum, mate. You're being very silly. No, go to mum. You're being silly. Obviously to make it back to finals would be great. But I think at the moment our challenge is that consistency of applying our game plan week in, week out. The finals and winning finals and things like that are the result. What we're really focused on at the moment is the hard work and the process of now. And if we do that right and we get that right and we tick that box enough times, that will come. So, as I said, it would be really nice, but it's not a huge focus.
Does the result on the weekend, though, make you feel like it's getting ever closer?
It makes the dream and the hope a bit more real. I think it's really good reward for effort, and it shows that we're on the right track, and I think it gives us a lot of belief about what we're trying to do and how we're doing it. But again, it's not going to, the result on the weekend won't guarantee anything this week. It just gives us a little bit of a better feeling about ourselves and maybe a little bit more confidence and motivation. But certainly it's not going to help our actual performance this week.
Who have been the biggest influences on your career thus far?
Biggest influences of my career, it obviously begins with my family. My mum and dad especially driving me all over country Victoria through my teenage years to go to games and carnivals and things like that. And then my time at Fremantle, guys like Peter Bell, Troy Cook, Sean McManus in the early days, the Carr brothers, and moving through to Aaron Sandilands and Matthew Pavlich in a playing sense. But I've also been very lucky to have Ken Withers and Jeff Boyle with me here in my entire time and really looking after my body and making sure that I can continue to play. So there's a lot of motivation and influences outside of what we see on game day. I'm certainly going to miss a lot of people throughout the journey of saying a specific thank you, but hopefully those people know who they are and know that I really value their contribution.
People always talk about your mum being so emotional when you left Victoria, and I think you said when you leave and when you say goodbye at the airport now, she still cries.
Yep.
What made you stay here in WA?
I have a very comforting wife, and she's very understanding. She looks after our crazy children quite a lot, so that certainly helps. But I've always found Fremantle to be an environment where I thought I could get the best out of myself. I've really enjoyed my time here. They've put a lot of time into me and my development, and creating an environment here where we can all feel an equal part of it, and a place that we can be really comfortable to express ourselves and try and get the best out of ourselves. So I think throughout my journey, I've always thought that Fremantle, deep down, was always the best place for me to play my best football and become the best person that I can be. And so I hope that I've repaid that on my end.
Dave, nearly 18 months on Optus Stadium. How has the body adjusted to recovering from that surface as opposed to Subi?
It's been really good. Obviously, there are some challenges with new surfaces and new stadiums and things like that, and some of it has been well documented, but our processes behind the scenes with our medical staff and our recovery and our preparation for training and games there has been first class, and we're just working through that as best we can.
You mentioned your sister was a Richmond supporter. Did you grow up having an affiliation with any of the clubs or barracking for someone in particular?
Yeah, I barracked for Geelong growing up. I vividly remember not having a team, and my mum barracks for Collingwood, and one day we were watching Geelong versus Collingwood on the telly, and Dad said to me, whoever wins this game, that's who you'll barrack for, thinking that Geelong would get up, and they did. And so I grew up idolising Gary Ablett Senior and Billy Brownless and Gary Hocking and those guys. So that was my childhood.